Traders, happy weekend. Bringing you the weekend video here for the week starting tomorrow at August 7th. So let's get started here. Let's take a look at the SPY. Interesting SPY. I don't know if you notice something that I have noticed, and I tend to notice these things pretty closely because these nuances help me stay grounded with the trading, and hope you find some value here. And if you do, hit subscribe. I've got few topics also pending that I am looking to bring to your to you. Topic number one will be mindset versus psychology, and why do I think that sometimes the psychology is a little overrated. That's number one. And why mindset can win over psychology. And I'll give you examples. I'll connect things together to bring some clarity, because a lot of educator, I believe, made really living out of the psychology piece. And if you don't have emotions, then you're not human. And really, if you're not human and you're a robot, you're a millionaire, because then you don't make mistakes, right? Autonomous drive, that's what the future is. The autonomous driving, 99.9% of all accidents are human mistakes. So if we have robots driving, rarely it's going to be making any mistakes. But what's important? The other piece is what's important. What I was going to say, what's important is, are we really evaluating our trading? Are we journaling our state of mind when we're trading? I think that's more important than over our psychology. But that's a topic for another day. That's 2 minutes of rant. Probably you are like, let's get to the video. So let us get to the video. Spies. Interesting here. Still in uptrend. We draw the trend line here on spiders, right, from right here to right here. So we have that trend line. And then if we were to, let's say, draw another parallel here on this one, and I don't want to be lazy about it, I really want to go here. And then if you go here, then you still pretty much within the trend here on spies. So that said, but what is interesting, it's the first time since I think March, so way back here, since March, and that's that's February, that's March. So since this day right here, so what is it, March 17th, this is the first weekly close below the previous week. Matter of fact, 2 weeks getting taken out here on this bar. And we had a pretty sharp reversal right off of $453, despite what the news are, that Wall Street economists are forecasting September rate hike pause. Oppenheimer is super bullish, and lifted the S&P targets to 4,900. So all that, I mean, that's great. I stick to the technicals, and I'll bring something. So if you look at this, that's one way to see how that's going to play out. On Qs, on the other hand, same thing here on the Qs. It's been an amazing run. Qs have been an amazing run, and this closed right at support. Spiders closed right at support. But as of this recording, futures are up, and up nicely. So we'll see how things play out and where they open. I think we have some damage here to deal with, especially on the hourly chart. And I would start getting bullish if we take out this pivot and then worry about here. But right now, I think if I were to say, all signals are pointing to a lower week to maybe 366 here in the Qs. So we try to see, these I brought to you last week as well. We have resistance, we have a lower high, and then we just couldn't rally Obviously, Apple earnings did not help. So, and then when you look at the IWM, which I've been really bullish on IWM, and have been bullish because I really wanted to play this breakout. It's just haven't broken out. Look at this, and we talked about this last video. This is 160 to 1, let's just call it 170. So 170 to 200. Let's just easy math. $30 is easily will take us here on IWM, and that broke down as well. And diamonds that have been in a historic run here. Diamonds, and that's starting to pull back as well. So diamonds broke out a long base here. I mean, long base. You can see this started from back in December and went all the way up to July. Just stayed in this range, and then finally broke out. And now I think they're viable right around 346, and that happens to be right here. So that support area, I like it. I would love to see 7 to 10% pullback. Quite frankly, it will flush out weekends, and it will stabilize some of the prices in some of these stocks, and then we're off to the races. So let's take a look as to what's on the watch list here this week, and then we'll go from there. So first one I have is Netflix. I love this Netflix as it's basing. This is a stage 2A base over the 200 period moving average, and it's already been we broke out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I love to see 3 more weeks, 12 weeks of base. We call it a mature base, and play above this area 457 with the stop to about 4. Let's just call it 420. Big targets here on Netflix. Love that. A couple of stock that my earnings gap up. If you watch the video, ANET looks really good here. I actually love this ANET gap. Everything about it was very, very good. Solid day with higher high, higher lows on ANET. When you look at what's going on the weekly, the daily, and the hourly chart, this is building that bull flag, and then this can probably have a 10 weeks. If the market stays strong in 10 weeks, ANET could go at least 20%. So keep an eye on this. I mean, 20% is pretty darn solid on any trade, let alone just one symbol here. Let's SSV was showing up on my radar here. On my it's an IPO, and it's just starting to make some noise here. I want to see volume picks up, and if it does pick up, I really like this SSV. If you all remember, from the last video we talked about PanW and how PanW is setting up to be a short here, and that was one of my favorite shorts. Well, you got your short right here in the form of the gap, and it opened right here 224, which could have been shorted because it's just triggering the daily setup with a nasty move here on this gap, and this thing can really come down to 203. Still got some room. This looks pretty darn good on the short side. So T2 is also another one that looks like it wants to go head lower. Some of these shorts that are setting up here, keep an eye on this. Look at this one, MicroStrategy, and then the last one was on my short list was Hubs, and Hubs is really had a big week to the downside. So these are my short watches, and let's see what happens here. But we did have a doji bar on NET, but this is setting up to be a perfect long trade. Stage 1 here, long stage 1. Some can say the stage 2 trigger. The reason I'm saying the stage 2 trigger, because you have retest of this, and now prices are trading above the 21 and the 50 period moving average, and break above 70. Let's just call it a 75 with a stop to about 60. Big targets here on net, so keep an eye on net. as it is a long watch at the moment. Had a gap up and then sold off just like everything else in the market. The other um, candidates here, obviously I was looking at Nvidia. There's not much happening in Nvidia, but what I like here is the oil trade, because oil is, you've got a little cup and handle in oil, and I think I think let me see if this I saw that on if I saw this on my scan, and I'm not sure if that did show up on the scan, but I really like this USO. Uh, this is a legit trade. Um, yeah, it's really nice setting up. So we'll see if energy right here picks up, but and then the gold, some commodity trades here. Gold, I don't know. Gold, someone asked me about gold, and I looked at the chart, and I quite frankly I don't know what to make of it. As far as the gold chart, there's nothing to do on the gold chart, but here's, let me show you the USO. And I went through all these scans, and I'm bringing you really the best of the best. And I scanned about 4 p.m. tonight. Fifthly is okay here, but USO, and this is on the weekly chart. When you look at it, look, I told you guys that's a little cup right here on USO. After you get your eyes trained, you don't really need to go and validate your setup, but this is about to break out. Look at this is stage 1, pivot 72.65, depth is 18%, so relative strength's picking up. So keep an eye on this USO. That looks really, really good. I mean, like I said, my scans did not yield very favorable scans, and you see here's some scans for my Monday, which is tomorrow, and then I am super organized with my scans, and how I scan them for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then my portfolio that I'm currently managing. So wanted to bring this up. Other than that, as somebody asked me, what's going on with Tesla, I've been I've been the contrarian on Tesla. I think Tesla looks lower. Nvidia, on the other hand, we gotta wait and see. I'd love to see Nvidia build the right side, maybe another 4 weeks, and that's gonna look really good. AMD actually looks really good here. So you've got a little bit of a downtrend line right here. So if we break this downtrend line if we break this downtrend line on this AMD, I think this is ready to go here. With the $110 stop AMD. So keep an eye, keep it on your radar. AMD, Uber. I think these things will set up eventually. They'll clean up. What a great trend here on Meta. We're gonna need some time on Meta. I think someone also asked me for ON, and I actually reply back saying thank you, because that's on my radar as well. The ON. This is, I believe this one was, this is on my radar as well, and I'll show you ON. 95 relative strength. You've got a cup with handle building, and this is stage 2 of 2, which is one of my favorite. I love the fact the depth is 27% and the handle is about 9%. The target's about $40. The daily chart here, also in a 95%. So yeah, this is all setting up. And then let me just have, I think I have one more that's showed up here. This is a big range here in IoT. I'm not sure what to do with IoT, quite frankly, but weekly chart looks pretty good. If it breaks the consolidation at 30.91, I can see myself getting getting into this trade. This did show up on my scans as well. So I've just this looks good. ON. Someone asked me about Nikola, so I'll go over the Nikola trade. I don't know what to do with Nikola. I don't know what to do with top, other than, you know, I wish I saw this right here this day and probably play the 180 break with the stop to 120. And I don't know if I would have held it here, but you know, these are the trades that we just have to see how they're setting up. DraftKings, super nice here. DraftKings, it gapped up. I mean, this was a kind of surprise to me that this gap, it gapped up. Now this one did not work. I took a stop on Friday on DraftKings. This one gapped up into resistance, and then I wanted to play 32.39. You know, it didn't work, basically, right? It went to 34.50, and then all day, maybe right here, but that's too late, and I'm not interested. But long term, this is a breakout here, staying within the 200 moving average. And if we get a one more inside week, I want to play this long here, as long as it doesn't break 34, let's just call it. So absolutely on a watch list here, DKNG. Last couple more, I'll show you Snap. I think Snap is in a sell setup here. Look at the weekly chart. It could be a short more than a long, if you ask me. And then somebody asked me about the PLTR. PLTR needs some time here as it's setting up. And the last symbol that I was asked was, hey, you know, you took LCID, and I got out of LCID for a small loss. I was long above 7. I got out at 680. It's at 662. Looks lower than higher. I have no problem admitting that I am getting out, and it was for a small loss. I do like Reveiw in this space. That I think 2760 is a good long position, but with the 23 stop, big targets. And then Carvana, I have all my requests here. Let me show you Carvana, and then we'll call it a night. Carvana put a big red bar, needs some time to consolidate, and I think overall market needs some time to consolidate. And once they do that, it'll be a fantastic way to get back into the market with some pullback. So with that, stay focused, stay disciplined, stick to your trading rules, stick to your guidelines, bring your best version of yourself to make a difference, because everyone can do what anyone can do. Nobody's any different than anyone. I mean, I really do think that everyone has the capability. It's how much work you are willing to put in, and do you believe in yourself? Ask that question. If you believe in yourself and you don't have the urge or itch to get rich quick, this is the right business for you. Because if you were to go open a brick or mortar or open up another business where you have to put down money, you would be in that business 12 hours a day from open to close, bell to bell. If you're putting that much time into your trading and you're not successful, you will be successful. And if you're not dedicating that much time into your trading and think that you should be successful, I'll let you make that decision. On that note, talk to you next week.